Look at the baby! You guys! Look at the little baby. Look at her. Look at the baby. Whose boat is this? Whose boat is this? Come on. This must be someone's fun little leisure boat. Maybe it's one of those, like, amusement park, bumper boat things. I don't know. It's a little baby thing, though. It's cute. Oh, it's a U.S. Navy ship. Interesting. I was a bit, surprised, but not really, to discover that the Navy was actually the ones using these particular little tiny boats. And they're not as small as this particular image might suggest. Here's one where there's people on board for some scale. They're still very small, but not as small as you might have thought. Either way, though, why does the U.S. Navy have these teeny tiny things? What could they possibly be for? After all, this is the U.S. Navy. USA! We have super carriers! We had battleships once! We miss those destroyers! The ultimate floating military might on the planet! Also, we have Boomin beavers, which is really what they call them. Well, the technical referral is the 19BB, or barrier boat, and these little devils were originally constructed by Chuck's Boat and Drive of Longview, Washington. They weren't originally designed for use by the Navy at all. What the original design was for was to pull floating logs for the commercial logging industry. These are tugboats, in effect, just exceedingly small ones. And that's kind of where the name Beaver comes from, because, logs, beavers, get it? The founder of Chuck's Boats, Chuck Slape, had decades of experience building rugged boats serving the Pacific Northwest, particularly on the booming grounds, which refers directly to a log boom, a barrier that's placed in a river that's designed to collect and contain floating logs. You may have seen pictures of this activity before. In the logging industry, a good way to transport logs is to literally send them down the river. Wood floats, so they just put them in the water and then collect them downstream. It makes it so that the lumber industry doesn't have to build, invasive roads in order to transport the logs out. Just send them down the river. Now, these little boats are deceptively powerful. They have an L-drive configuration, and that allows them to be tremendously agile as well, turning in just 1.5 times their length. They can just go spin all over the place, willy-nilly, just whatever. They do what they want. The babies do whatever they want, you hear me? But why does the Navy want them? What could they possibly be using them for? Well, for much the same reason as the logging industry, actually. Boom deployment and management. The Navy puts booms around their ships in port to keep the commercial ships away from their multi-million or billion-dollar pieces of equipment. They're do-not-cross barriers. And the Navy's had those for a long time. But given how simple it is to deploy a boom in most cases, they're not that complicated for the most part, you don't necessarily need a large cruiser or destroyer to do that. You just need a tugboat. And you don't even need a particularly large tugboat. You just need, a Boomin beaver. That's why the Navy wanted them. They were cheap and effective to do a very specific job, and they have them deployed at ports all over the place. There are about 10 active as of the making of this particular video, though their order appears to be for 13, and at least one is actually deployed next to the USS Constitution, presumably keeping the old girl company and protecting her from anyone that dares touch her. Don't you dare! Don't you dare! The Boomin beaver will beat the tar out of you!
I am the mightiest in the fleet!
Yes, Beaver, you say that every morning.
My ultimate power cannot be stopped! Ooh woo!
Someone please take me out for a trip or something.
I am the superior battle station of unlimited destiny.
Please.
Pride of a nation. A beast made of steel.
They went a little viral back in 2020 due to a Reddit post, as things often do, because someone posted a picture of one and tagged it as the smallest ship in the Navy. That might actually be true. I personally am not aware of any ships that the Navy has in commission that are as small as these babies. Regardless of whether they're the smallest, though, they are teeny tiny, but as I said, they have a very specific and useful purpose within the Navy. I imagine they'll keep them around for a tremendous amount of time because they're relatively inexpensive, and they're already a little over 20 years old. They first entered service back in 2003, though one was auctioned off back in 2006. The highest bid for it was $100,025, which seems a bit overpriced for a boat this size, but at the same time, I kind of want one. Come on, you want one too. Let's be fair. You want one. They're adorable. And with that, a special thank you goes to all my underwater train finders, Some Dude 267, Orange Glass, Benjamin Owens, Anzac A1, Arthur Roy, Jack Carson's Railroad Videos, Lord Off 444, Isurfer 1405, Charles Kwiatkowski, Matt Weaver, Tom Red Lion, NS Productions 8104, Wheeljack 8401, Rescues Greyhounds, The Baxter, Caleb Crosswhite, Andrew Bowen, Josh Johnson, Caleb Rainwaters, Prez Drenton, Master of None, Travis Zelinsky, Jared Brussel, JBL Explorers, Tommy Rossini, Ben McCullough, Panzer Kitsune 131, Jazz 232, Mark Holding, G Wiz, Mr. Terrevel, Hayden DeGrow, Metal for Life Guy, No, Kurt Forkham, Ohio Trucker 1, Mr. Sleepy, DM Travel Typhoon, Harry, Drew Debris, George Kenny, Kevin Wood, Liam Wright, Morris Hillman Productions, NJ1969, Hendrick Motorsports Fan 5, Hannah Bird, Western Colorado History, Ryan Weofer, Duraushi, Murder Drone Stall, Williard Conklin, Windy City Rails, A-Person 723, William Nemo, Dr. Racer 78, Shimesu, and of course, my dad. Till next time, this is Darkness, individual fun. Farewell.